Alright, so this is lab 1.3 for CITC 2337. Monitoring servers is our objective for this lab. We will have objectives of using the event viewer, attaching a task to an event, deleting a task, configuring a subscription for an event, using reliability monitor, using task manager, using resource monitor, using performance monitor, and we'll be using server manager in there a little bit too. I forgot to list. Alright, so for this lab we need to be opening up administrative tools, and this will allow us to navigate Microsoft management consoles faster. The first one we're using is Event Viewer, and Event Viewer essentially contains a ton of logs. You're able to view information about significant events, see in security, such as like programs starting up and stopping, security errors, as one just went on, setup, system, forward events, etc. Anytime you ever have a problem with your computer, the first thing you probably want to do is check Event Viewer. Event Viewer pretty much allows you to view and manage all logs. It's an essential tool for monitoring the health of all your systems and troubleshooting issues. The next thing we're going to be doing is demonstrating how to use filtering in Event Viewer. So let's go to Windows System Logs, and we'll do filter the current log, and just leave it anytime, filter critical warning, and hit OK. And that's pretty much how you filter it if you were to navigate through it and want to find something in particular. And as you see, I have a time service problem because I was trying to customize it manually in a previous lab. The next thing we want to do is create a custom view real quick. So let's create a custom view, and we want to do last 7 days for our situation. We're going to be doing critical warning. Well, yeah. Let's see. Security, applications, and systems. I think are the three that we need. Okay. So hit OK, and name this log set 1. And there we have it. Everything's filtered. You can see the critical, the warning. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and clear this log. We really don't need it. Let's just delete it. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Okay, for this next step we'll be opening up Event Viewer, and we'll need to add a task to an event in Event Viewer. So let's have this open, and let's do command prompt, and let's create an event. So net stop spool. Okay. Net start spoiler. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go into the logs. And this right here is what we just stopped a second ago in the command prompt, net stop spooler, which is the printer service. And just go ahead and right click this task, and we'll be selecting attach task. Let's leave the name the same. So we can start a program, send an email, display a message. When this event happens, it'll perform this basic task, which is like a reaction to the action of stopping the spooler. So let's just make it do a program, and let's do paint if I can find it real quick. I'm not even sure where paint's stored at. Okay, let's just do this PC. Maybe in documents. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so next, finish, boom, ta-da. Let's just go ahead and stop it again. Oh, there we go. Open up paint. How neat is that? Now start it up again. Guess it opens up paint for both actions. Stopping and starting for this event ID. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is just delete the task. So let's go to Server Manager, click Tools, Task Scheduler, and then expanding this real quick, and then click the Event Viewer task. On the right should be System, Server Control Manager, and we just want to delete this one. Okay, now let's just move on to the next one. Alright, so for this part we'll be handling subscriptions, and subscriptions are a component of Event Viewer. So let's open up Event Viewer, expand window logs and subscriptions. So subscriptions is a copy of an event from a remote computer and store them locally. That's pretty much what it is. You're able to specify exactly which event you want to be sent to your computer from a remote computer, and it'll be collected and stored locally. Once the subscription is active and the events are being collected, you can view and manipulate these 40 events anytime you want. You can request and refresh new events whenever you want. So let's go ahead and configure it real quick. Now we're going to do subscriptions, right click, create subscription. Let's name it subscription 1. Subscription, no matter, for events, it's the log to be stored in. Collector, we want to go ahead and add our domain computer. So in this situation, we'll do server A because this is what we'll be collecting from. So this computer contacts the selected source computer and provides a subscription. Source computer is our computer, in this situation server B, and server A will be contacting server B and provide a subscription. So you want to select events, just do these for 30 days. The log you want to use is system, and event ID you want to do 736 in this situation. Usually you wouldn't want to specify anything, but we want to make sure it's working, so as a test we'll do that. So advanced, we're going to do specific user, so it'll follow this user and their permissions assigned towards them, and that should be it. So let's go ahead and test out our subscription real quick. Over to server A, we're going to do net stop, and as I'm doing this, it should be getting sent over to server B, our source computer. So let's see if they're forwarded, and here they are. Computer server A is logged for event 736. 736. Okay. Yep. Everything looks good. And that's pretty much subscriptions. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin with reliability monitor. What we want to do here is open up run. just do this and do this right here, perfmon /rel, enter, and it will display a line right here, and this line pretty much represents how reliable your computer is. So any changes made to this computer, any problems occur, will affect this line, the stability index. So pretty much the blue line represents reliability on a scale of 1 to 10. Any events is saved down here, so you have miscellaneous failures, warnings, information, and the date they occurred on. Okay, so let's do this event right here. Well, probably down here. Yeah, critical events 9.5. The Windows was not shut down properly. Let's see what's inside of technical. Yeah, as expected. Yeah, let's go back to what I was just at. Alright. So you have information events. Let's see, driver installation. Pretty much the such. Just updates for this Windows 10. Let's go looking around. So let's do view all problems, and you can get a list of all the problems you have. So see source, diagnostic troubleshooting, driver installation, and network diagnostics. Status not reported. Summary, could not find driver software for that one. You can do check for solution, delete. Pretty much it's just a report. Keep tabs on everything. Make sure your computer is informed. Okay. And that's pretty much it for reliability monitor. Okay. So the next one we're using is Task Manager. So we can just right click Task Manager down here. And you definitely want to do more details. So inside of Task Manager you have 5 tabs: processes, performance, users, details, services, and I'll give you a quick summary of which one does what. Processes lists the processes, how much memory they used, and the CPU they're using. Performance has 3 tabs. It lists the CPU, the physical memory, and the CPU. The users tab lists all the users on. It will show them. It will show you the information that the CPU they're using, the memory, and the Ethernet usage. The details will have a list of all processes and their respective process ID. We're running the user that's running them, the memory usage, in this case Explorer, which is the folder Explorer down here, is running the most. So the details in Essential just shows more details of all processes. Plenty of details. If you want to look at some of the processes, go to details. So the services pretty much show all services running on the system, and they have their respective PID, which is process ID, the description, and the service name itself. Essentially, a task manager is great for showing you programs, processes, all kind of services that are running on your computer. And that'll be it for Task Manager. Okay, so the next topic we'll be talking about is Server Manager, and let's just open it up. For our Server Manager, I'm going to quickly show the processes it's being used by. So let's do Resource Manager and expand that. Let's see. Review. Maybe that can give us a better look.
Looks like that's using quite a bit. So here's all the processes it's using, which is quite a bit of usage for it. Okay, the server manager, let's see, is stored in Windows System 32, stored right here, and along it is a ton of other files. Let's see, back in server manager, we're gonna start a task. So we can right click, let's go to services. Let's do this. Let's find a task. The HTTP client, and we're just gonna stop it. Stop service. Okay. I guess it's just gonna load real quick. Yeah. And let's start it back up. I guess it is automatically. Any second now. Alright. And then we're going to start it back up. The server manager in the main properties, you can see all kind of information: IP address, firewall, remote usage, domain, updates, etc., time, product, and a brief look at the hardware. And that's server manager for you. Alright, so the next one we're covering is resource monitor. Let's go ahead and open it up. And you have 5 tabs up top. The overview, which is, like it says, just a quick overview of each individual look. And you can go into more detail with the processes when you click on it. So this just shows you the general overview. Anyways, the CPU tab shows all the processes that are being used by the CPU. And it shows the graph for real time over on the right. And it shows respective process ID, description, status, threads. It shows services used by the CPU and associated handlers and modules. The memory tab shows you essentially the memory being used. So Explorer is using 110, SVC host is using about 40, DVD, etc. And then you have the real-time graph over to the right. It shows you the graph of physical memory, 575 megabytes in use, 1400 available. And it shows you the available cache, the total amount of memory. In this computer I have 2000. And then it shows you the installed memory, so how much memory is on your physical computer. The disk shows you the same thing as the other tabs. Real-time information on the right, image, process ID, and associated usage of the disk. Disk activity just shows you what is going on the disk, what is being ran, right, read. The total is pretty much the summary. Network is pretty much the summary of Ethernet usage, and it shows you real-time usage. Let's see. So I'm using 20. I'm receiving 20 bytes a second, and I am sending 1 byte on some fast internet speed. And here's a real-time usage over here. So TCP connections, which is just 1, only has 10 kilobits a second. A second ago that was probably about 8. And that's resource monitor for you. Alright, so the last thing we'll be covering is performance monitor. So let's go ahead and open up performance monitor. And you're pretty much able to monitor certain aspects, very specific aspects of your hardware usage. So In this situation, we'll be monitoring a few things. So let me just create it real quick. So we're monitoring the processor time. And then we'll be going over to system. And do process queue length. Let's do memory next. Let's do page faults second. Then we'll do physical disks next. Do current queue length, current disk queue length, and just add that. Okay, so hit OK. Now let's keep this over to the right, and let's open up like Server Manager, and we're just gonna quickly play around with some applications, load up some stuff. Doesn't matter. We're just seeing a spike. And as you can tell, it's really monitoring a lot of aspects differently than it was previously once we have these specifications listed. So you can actually unclick and see certain tabs, like this is a process time, page faults second, current disk queue length, process time, and process queue length. Okay, so let's go ahead and manually stop this real quick. So we would have to actually create yeah, so let's do, where is it? Yeah, this says, doesn't matter the name about it. Create a new data collector set, finish it, and then we can actually use all these inside of the set. And then essentially we just created a way to keep track of certain information instead of just being wasted, not being tracked or collected, so to speak. So now we have it collected. We can just go down to the file I just made, UUIT7I7T, and we will have the system monitor log right here. We can start and stop it, and then you can see performance monitor. And let's go ahead and just stop it real quick, and we can also do the report, and you can see between the 10 seconds I had it running, there was a spike in the process queue. And that's pretty much it for performance monitor. Alright, and for this lab we went over these objectives listed. We used event viewer, we attached a task, deleted a task, and we made a subscription in the event viewer. We used reliability monitor, we used task manager and explained it. We used resource monitor, we used performance monitor, and we also used server manager. That's not listed in there. And I hope you enjoy this lab. See you next time.